Hello and welcome everybody. Um excuse me. I didn't realize I've been up since really early this morning and I tried to change my schedule so I'd sleep in. But I woke up and when I woke up this morning, I think one of the things that one of the reasons I woke up, I was having a crazy ass dream for one, but there was a hole in the ice. It was a big hole, and we dove down into it, and as we dove into it, it was dark in this hole in the water, but the water around me, it was clear, but as you looked up, you could only see where the hole was and where everything else hadn't given away. And I I sort of have been sitting here kind of like analyzing, you know how you analyze your dreams? And l thinking about this dream, thinking about, kinda like the meaning, the depths, and I'm like, "Okay, so the water is, emotion, intuition, and diving into those intuition," and it kinda reminded me of I think it's the angel tarot cards that I have, and one the cups is a mermaid, and as she's going into the water, and talking about the intuition and connecting with your intuition and trusting. Because when I looked up, I was just like, well, there's the hole, and it was dark outside, so there was the darkness of night, that waiting for some kind of clarity to come through. Not sure why we dove into the water. There was me and a few other people. Why we dove into the water, because for one thing, if anybody knows me, I'm not going to just dive down, dive in a hole in the water. It's not my thing. I mean, I'll go into a lake, but I have issues about going into the ocean, and let alone going on a lake with that's ice and a hole. That kind of freaks me out. And it just there was a trust though. There was a trusting thing about this. And even though it just seems like there's darkness everywhere, and I feel like that's how everyone is feeling, like there is such darkness everywhere. We're feeling like we're diving down this hole. We can see the hole, we can see that that's there, and everything else seems to be covered up. But we know there's an end site, or there's a hole, there's a hole there. But I feel like this is with all of the transits and the energies that are coming into Gaia right now, everything is going to come in and be revealed to us over the next week or so, especially, and to see what pops up. But that's where a lot of the anxiety and the frustration comes in, is in the unknown. That's why one of the reasons why people come and see me, it is because there is so many unknowns. They're just not sure what road to go down, or there's options there, or they're feeling very frustrated or overwhelmed. And my job as a psychic medium and a spiritual coach is to help to guide you through those frustrations and over those hurdles and over those walls. When it's your own life, it's very difficult. When people think like, oh, you're the psychic, you should know everything about your life. I wish I did. But even in looking at my chart, there are things that cannot be seen, or I don't see them the same way, or I'm not looking at them. Or even as if you're giving a reading for yourself, your ego jumps in. And when the ego jumps in, it wants it to be a certain way, or it wants to manifest it in a certain way. And that's where you gotta let that go, because right now, if you are in the ego manifesting of wanting to have it done a certain way, or you want it to be a certain way, you're definitely going to be missing out, and you're definitely not going to be able to see the things that you are truly needing to be seen. And you got to trust in this transformation. I feel water is also it's very healing. It is also showing that there is a healing that's being done, and especially when the water was clear yet dark, but the water was clear, that things might not be as clear as you want it to be, but there is clarity there. but you have to trust in your intuition through it. And with the moon still in Leo, and the moon's not going to be void of course. And I find when the moon isn't void of course at times, it kind of, I mean, void of course is nice because it can help you to recenter and regain a little bit of groundedness. But when you're going from Leo and then we'll be going into Virgo, this is really bringing in a lot, because I mean the moon is going to be opposing Jupiter for the last time for 19 years in Aquarius. And so opportunities, like we're it's like almost like we want the opportunities, we want the last minute sale, we want something here. We're grasping for something. And as it goes into Virgo, it starts to square the nodes for the last time for 19 years. There's this energy of, and these are the nodes of fate of saying, okay, where are our struggles? Where do we have to go? And man, you weren't kidding about changing plans today. And things will change. You'll be thinking you're going one way and you have to go another. It's like my vehicle right now. um Love all the suggestions, everybody, but right now things just haven't been going the way that we thought it would be going. And where everything for the last 5 years, I'm gonna say, it's been great, and things were going like fast, like really good. And now it's like, what the fuck, like, oh my god, where opportunities come in, but then it's like, and this is what I don't understand with, especially with employees, right? My car locked me out when I was cleaning the snow off, and my phone is locked in the car. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Do you have a spare key? My son has my spare set of keys. Oh, lesson learned. You have to keep your own spare set of keys. Just saying. Just for these crazy options, crazy things that happen. And it's weird that your car locked you in the back that like that. So, um it's just, yeah, so there's things like that happen. For us it's, with our car and stuff. And of course it's close to Christmas and we haven't really done any Christmas shopping actually at all, because things have been so tight for us, on the financial area, right? And this is where, this energy too is coming in, and it's like, how do you want to change up your financials? What do you want to make? How do you want to make changes with your financials? And so this is like, whoa, okay, there's some big ones, that I'm thinking that I really want to start changing up in the things I want to do. It's a constant lesson. I know that's part of my lessons to be learned in this lifetime and to work on. It's a heavy transit, when I do look at my chart and I'm just like, "Oh, wow. Okay, I'm learning some big lessons here again." Um, with my sun squaring Jupiter, and Jupiter squaring Uranus, and my sun is opposite Uranus. So it is that where many people got to go through it in November for just that short period of time, and I have to live it right now until they totally, like, for the next and for another year. And this is change. This is looking at the changes and the opportunities that are coming in. With Uranus, it's sudden. We don't know. It could go one way and it goes totally the other way. And that's where that faith has to come in. That trust has to come in. And there is an exposure, the reality, not having the expectations and keeping positive in it all. Like, and sometimes it's like, my husband's like, I don't know how the fuck I can keep positive in all of this bullshit. And it's like, you just have to. You don't have a, like, you do have a choice. But even in the reading that I did in my I've been doing recordings, so I do little video logs each day, and do my readings each day with my video log. And what that does, it is getting me to do a reading every day and to promote doing readings online. So I do little video logs and then I upload them onto my YouTube page because I want to create more content. Um, I'm learning how to sort of edit and do things like that. So bringing in some new knowledge in how to do things and allowing it to unfold. Like I'm pretty good at allowing things to unfold, in certain directions, but I think right now there is a lot of frustration, and I think a lot of people are totally frustrated and they're overwhelmed. Um and it's easy to stay strong, but you do have to stay strong. This is where we are making leaps and bounds of changes that are coming forth and doing those leaps and bounds of changes. And sometimes you don't want to do them, but it's that it's that earth walk that we're on, and we're on a pretty strong earth walk right now that's bringing in some crazy, you know, on top of the holiday energy is a lot of stress, right? And there's a lot of stress that's coming in, and that stress is really bringing forth a lot, like a lot of craziness, a lot of nuttiness at this time, and you just have to take one step in front of another. That's what you got to do. You just got to take one step in front of the other. And um if you got to stop and pause and take a breath, then stop and pause and take a breath. And but don't freeze. That's my number one thing. Don't freeze. We got to keep on, trucking, I guess, and there is a lot of unknowns that are coming up, and that has to do with Uranus. I mean, how many tornadoes have hit down in the States? I think it's been over 50, like crazy little tornadoes all over the place that aren't even being brought up on the news. There's the volcano in Spain is still going. There's still all of this stuff going on, and bringing in a lot of disruptions all over the world. And this is where it's like, okay, you know what? Right now, I know I'm okay. Right now, I know I got a roof over my head. My husband made me breakfast. I got coffee. Yeah. I have these, beautiful things that are in my life, and those are my blessings. And that's what I got to keep hold of, is those blessings, and keep a hold of those, things that are putting me one step in front of the other, because it is a little crazy right now. I do have to admit. And it is I feel like 4 to 5 reveals. I think there's going to be more than 4 to 5 reveals. I think there's going to be a lot more that's going to be revealed to us in the new year. And when it comes to, like, in Alberta, they put down more restraints. I don't understand why universities and colleges have to go online, because we already know what kind of psychological, because yeah, the psychological warfare, the psychological issues that causes on universities kids, and depression, not only university kids but also children. So I don't know if they're going to be shutting down the schools, which is going to be another fucked up mess, there. So there's all of this that's coming in that doesn't make sense, and where they're saying, well, we don't want to go back to March of 2020, yet in some ways, and this is where, when I'm looking at the energies and some of the craziness is that's happening, some of, to keep the control. Why don't we go back? It's like, well, no, we're not going to go back to those type of lockdowns, but we're going to enforce these types of laws or rules or regulations or mandates in order for things for you to abide by, but it's not the same thing, yet it is in a backwards way. And I think this is where a lot of people are really awakening and seeing that, okay, this doesn't make sense. These studies don't make like, there is like so many studies have come out about masks on children and what it does to children, and it really hinders their way of seeing emotions and understanding what people's emotions are, and facial recognition, when it comes to things. That's why in babies, it's so important that babies see, they can only see so far to recognize mom, and then they model what you are doing, the cooing and the laughing, and that's how they learn. To think of children when they're trying to learn something and trying to figure out, is this the right way, and they're not able to understand the eye expressions, let alone try and breathe all fucking day with a mask on. This is where can come into so many disassociation, and making the thing is that trying to make people not human. And the beautiful thing about being human is we can feel, we can understand. As much as a computer can try and diagnose us within 2 minutes and think they got it all out, it can't feel. And bringing that emotion into your life is so vitally important. Bringing in that of understanding that I can connect, and I can feel the stress. I can feel the upset. I can feel the joy. I can feel the laughter in it all. And that allows me to be that creative, beautiful, sexy, abundant woman that I know I am. But sometimes in feeling the upsets and the bullshit that comes down, it's frustrating. It's frustrating, and admitting that it's frustrating, admitting that, not understanding, like, my husband's been hired to about 3 different places, and they all guaranteed him full-time hours, and not one of them have come through for whatever reason. Because the thing is that, how what I figured out is that a lot of these companies wanna keep you on, but only on call and only when they want you. And then they want you to, and I think this is where our car got fucked up, is that on a couple of the jobs, they wanted you to use your own job, but there was no place in the cold, there was no place to go. Like, you had to keep your car idled and going for 12 hours off and on. So that's not very good for the engine, and they don't really pay you to sit there and idle your car for that long a time. So there's these things, and just seeing it, and it's just like, okay, well, maybe something better is going to come along. Maybe there's going to be a different opportunity. And as Raylene says, you took them home by accident, but I'm saying, well, maybe this is a good thing, because it's going to keep you home from getting into an accident. Maybe this is showing you that, okay, you gotta stay home a little bit, because things might be too crazy out there, or something, whatever reason. And this is when you look at the opportunities and say, okay, well, this might give me some time to bake cookies or paint, or look at different things that I can do into my new place, right? So in switching it around, pivoting and looking at things in a new way is going to be beneficial in the long run. So, my loves, I want you all to have a fabulous, fabulous day, and take it all in stride. I mean, especially today, and especially as we're going into Christmas and Christmas Day, because it's gonna, yeah, you just have to take things in stride. And don't let pivot, yes, and don't let anybody tell you to restrict you from being with the ones that you love. I think that is the worst thing to do. um, there's nobody in this world could tell me that I cannot see my children. I mean, it would be that I'd have to be behind bars and very restricted in order to not see my children or be with my children in many different ways. So it has to be under extreme circumstances. And Elixired or not elixired. There's, this is the other thing, is that they think that there's only one way um, to cure you, or to give you, you know, the right elixir. This is the only elixir that you can use. And we're all different, and we all respond differently when it comes to healing. And some heal very quickly. Some people take a longer time to heal. Some people respond fabulously to different types of elixirs, and other people do not. And some people believe in their own elixir, their own immune, and that allows them to be stronger in what they're doing. So here we're coming into also, is don't allow someone or something to divide you because of fear. Five of Pentacles. There's a missing element that's there, the Five of Pentacles, because you're not going towards the light, you're going towards the darkness. You're going towards something that's going to take you in a place that you don't want to go. So don't allow it. It's your choice. Trust and pivot. Trust and pivot. That's the theme today. So have a blessed one, everybody, and we'll talk to you soon. I'm going to be putting up my auction. So thank you so much for being a part of my community. And may the Lord and the Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and all that you say, and all that you be, and all that you do. Blessed be, everybody. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here with me today. Have a great one. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.